Today I'm going to cover how to get the 4K damage badge in Apex Legends Season 11. Now if this badge is something you are struggling with or you're just looking to get those extra damage numbers, hopefully this video will help you out. If you're new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out the Discord, and of course there's plenty more Apex Legends videos on my channel. But for now, let's get straight to the video. So it's all going to start with the drop. Now of course I am playing World's Edge here and my teammate landed solo. They landed Fragment on their own, which I was a little worried about, but I do enough solo duos that I can sort of handle myself and I wasn't too worried. So recently I've been landing Lava Siphon out of most places. I know Fragment is the most populated area and you can probably have more chance of getting more kills there, which of course will give you more damage. But most of the time you're taking drops and fighting people for weapons or a shield, and it doesn't really end well if you don't get a good weapon or a good shield, because you're just getting third, fourth, fifth partied with an RE45 to your disposal, and it's not really great. So by landing Lava Siphon, it actually gives me chance to get some loot, and sometimes it can be a pretty popular drop. Now I've been going for the 4K on Bang the past couple days, and I have had multiple 3900 damage games, which has been very upsetting. Honestly, you hit that damage and you're like, just that one more kill or just that one more thirst. But we're going to cover all that, and we're going to talk about how I really racked up the damage towards the end with the help of my teammate as well. And this guy was huge, you know. I'm grateful to him for letting me get some extra damage at the end. But anyway, all I'm doing right now is just taking out anyone that comes at me. I wasn't intending on getting as much damage as I did. Obviously, I was going for it, but sometimes with the games, things will just happen. And if you are really trying for something, it probably won't happen. So you just need to stay calm, relax, and just play the game as you normally would. And then if you see the damage numbers starting to creep up, maybe then think, okay, there's potential here. I have a pretty good amount of damage. I'm pretty solid here. Maybe I should start going some damage badges. Now, of course, the number one tip here is going to be thirsting your enemies as much as possible if you down someone. However, if that thirst is going to get you killed, don't do it. So I left the Bloodhound on the floor because I heard his teammate coming, and I don't want to thirst that. If that's going to get me killed, it's really not worth it. But I managed to pick up 638 damage off a pretty quiet drop, honestly. For Lava, this was a pretty quiet drop in my opinion. I just have a quick look around, make sure there's no one else that I could potentially get some damage on or get some more kills on. I did get a nice weapon to start with, which puts me in a good position for the game ahead. Now, of course, I'm going to rotate to Fragment here. One, it's going to help me link up with my teammate and give us a stronger chance of actually winning the game, because like I say, I wasn't really going for the 4K. But also, Fragment is the most popular drop on the map, and it seems the next logical place to go. So I'm just going to skip ahead here, as it's just kind of like getting to Fragment and just sort of getting into Fragment itself. But of course, there's people in the main zipline building, and I see them on top. So I'm trying to take advantage of staying back and not necessarily pushing in where there's potentially 2 or 3 squads fighting in that main building. I'm going to use my ult to potentially get them off the roof, so I could make a push if I wanted to. But the idea here is I'm not actually going for kills. I don't need to rush in, and I don't need to risk it by going for kills. So I'm trying to stay back a bit more as I'm trying to just get damage. You know, if I'm taking shields off people or getting them down low on health, it's all adding up. Now, I did potentially whiff this quite a lot, and I could have gone down here, which wasn't great. The Rampage hipfire isn't fantastic, and my R99 shot was a bit off. Okay, I won't lie there. But we take the Rampart down, and of course, I'm going to go on Thirster. I want that extra 100 damage on my counter. Now, I hear a lot going on outside, so it's a quick loot and on to the next squad. I don't want to get caught out looting. I don't want to miss on any opportunities of potentially getting a kill or potentially 100 damage. I don't want to be healing too long. All that stuff is going to get you killed. If there's people around you and you're looting too long, or if there's people around you, you're healing too long, all that stuff gives people an opportunity to move in on you. I hear this massive fight going on outside, and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of potential for extra damage here. And I'm just using that as an opportunity with the Rampage, of course, which honestly, if you're really trying to rack up some damage, I'd highly recommend just taking a Rampage and farming people from the edge. But we'll get into that a little later. And of course, a close range weapon as well for those close range engagements, which is why I've got the 99. Now, I want automatic weapons here. It's just what I'm most comfortable with. Obviously, the way you're going to get more damage is hitting your shots. So you need to be using the weapons that you can actually use and the weapons that you are most comfortable with. So just in like the first round of the game, I've already racked up 1300 damage, which doesn't seem like a lot. And honestly, it's not that much, but it's a good start to the game. There's still 9 squads left, and I know I can pick up some more damage towards the end of the game. At the minute, Wraith's just calling out pings, and I'm just going to follow her and try to pick up as much damage as possible. Ideally, I would have got a thirst there, but I know that the Octane probably had more health, so they were the one that I wanted to take out first. I'm not sure why Wraith was pinging here, but I guess they wanted to tell me something. Anyway, I hear more shots, so immediately I'm going for that. Essentially, when I play pubs, I'm playing as though I'm going for kills. I'm not necessarily going for the win, and I'm just trying to take them engagements and trying to take them fights. Like, I'm not going for a 20 bomb or anything like that. I'm just playing to get in more engagements and get more comfortable with gunfights and improve my aim, improve my gunfighting skills, and that's exactly what I was doing. Now, I did chase this Horizon down when I probably could have turned around and got the other guy instead. But the Horizon had a nice golden LMG for me, a nice golden rampage, so that gives me the golden heavy mag, of course. I could have turned around for the teammate, but like I said, my Wraith was pretty solid this game. I had nothing to worry about. So again, I'm just going to skip ahead. We're just kind of chilling in Fragment at this point. Teams are coming to us and we're just going to take them out as much as possible. Like I say, I'm prioritizing kills. I'm not necessarily going for damage. I'm just trying to rack up the damage by getting kills. And I know that sounds weird, but taking more fights and taking as much damage off people as possible is obviously going to rack up the counter and rack up your kills. And you're just going to have way more of a fun game. So again, we're just kind of checking out the area. Wraith starts getting sniped, so all I'm doing here is just trying to get some extra shots off. You know, whether it's an extra 50 damage, whether it's an extra 100 damage, that can really make the difference at the end of your game. Like I say, I've been like 100 damage, 70 damage off the past couple days, and it's infuriating, but it will happen, especially if you're a solo duo and the last duo decides to push you. It can be really annoying. But anyway, I'm with Wraith on this. Wraith just wants to go for kills, which I'm more than happy to. That's the way you're going to obviously get the most damage, taking out someone at 200, 250 damage on each person. Then if you thirst them as well, and, you know, they have extra shields and whatnot, that's where most of your damage is going to come from. There is only 6 squads left, however, and I am sitting at just under 2,000 damage, so I am aware of that, but I'm just trying to get in there. Now, really, Wraith goes down here, which she did leave the person one tap, which is unfortunate. I was super tempted to just thirst that Loba first, but I didn't want any repercussions. I just thought I'd get the Wraith up as fast as possible and really get to it. Now, this is where things get interesting. I was trying to type here, but I didn't realize it doesn't come up, which is strange. But I was going to type here, hey, Wraith, I only need 2,000 damage. Can we just do some farming? So that's exactly what, so when I stand still, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm telling Wraith, hey, look, I only need 200 damage. Like, I could have got a mic here, but I'm quite mic shy sometimes, I guess. And sometimes people don't really respond to their mic or whatever. So I just thought I'd do it in text and see what happens. So this is what we're doing right now. I'm just saying, hey, Wraith, I need 2,000 damage. Do you mind if we just farm some towards the end of the game? Because there's only 5 squads left. And like I say, being in this position where there's a few squads left, you can see my message there. Being in this position where there's only like a few squads left and you can get as much damage off them as possible, but having a good start of 1,500 or 2,000 damage is where you kind of want to be. So I'm just gonna skip ahead because we're just messaging saying, hey, look, this is what we need, this is what we're on. There's only 4 squads left, but I'm not worried. I know you can farm 1,500, 2,000 damage off the last couple squads if you really need to. And Wraith is pinging enemies for me. I'm just going to push in and follow them because I obviously want to try and get a bit of this damage as well. I don't think Wraith at this point fully understood that I was going for the 4K. I thought they meant, I think they thought I was going for the 20 bomb. But I was fully going in, just fully charging with nothing to lose. I knew Wraith was a solid teammate. And right here, I see that other teammate shooting at me, and notice my crosshair immediately changes. That guy has line of sight. I immediately take cover so I can't get double shot at the same time. I can't get team shot. And that's, you know, just playing smart and all these gunplay mechanics that will pop into your head, and not just going for damage, but playing the game as normal as possible is what's really going to help you. If you're so focused on getting damage or getting a kill when going for any badge, it's really going to throw you out. So I immediately changed focus. I know that guy's cracked, so the Bangalore's down as well. I get the thirst on them because, again, it's an easy 100 damage. Wraith is going up the stairs, so I think this guy's going to try climb out. And of course, I try climbing up, but then Octane comes along to try climb out. And again, we can wipe up some damage on them. And now I'm at 2,500 damage with 3 squads left. But like I say, I'm not worried. I know this is the peak time to get as much damage as possible. Now, you will notice, actually, I've swapped out my 99 for a Sentinel. And this is with good reason. Towards the end of the game, if you're really wanting your damage, you need to switch your weapons out for something more long range. You need to not be pushing enemies. The idea here is pushing enemies back and keeping them back as far as possible. So we go back to the top of the hill, and I notice a squad down there. Wraith's pinging them for me. They know I want that 4K, and Wraith's pinging them for me. And luckily, like I said, the objective here is just dealing damage, letting them heal, not necessarily going for the kill. But with the Sentinel, I'm getting an extra 70 damage per body shot. Some of my Sentinel shots are very questionable, I won't lie. I don't really snipe that much in Apex, as you can tell. I'm not great with the Kraber, if that hasn't occurred to you. But I'm just trying to get, you know, extra damage on them and let them heal, because all of these add up, and this is where you're going to get the most of your damage, which is why I say take the long range weapons and just try have those long range engagements. Don't let anyone get close to you. That's why with this Pathfinder, I was holding them back with the Rampage. I didn't want to give him any opportunity at all to be able to push on me and potentially get it down. And then that, you know, that's just damage lost. We have the ring here, we have the position, and again, that's the main thing. Keeping the position where you can, so people have to come to you and you don't have to get into them, and they can't keep you away. So, like I say, 3 squads left. Excuse me. I know they're all in front of me, and I can just get some damage here. Like, this would be great, though, if I could hit my shots better, which, obviously, like I said, I'm not fantastic with a Sentinel. But just taking their shields off, letting them re-heal, and this is sort of like where your damage is going to start racking up. So I'm at like 3k now, and I'm pretty confident at this point that it's a really extremely doable and can be done. Like, we've gone from the 2.5k up to 3k pretty quick. The ring's closing in, it's pushing people towards us, and this is the whole point of, this is the whole part now of sort of getting the 4k. This is where it sort of separates those 3k badges to the 4k badges if you're trying to get it as easy as possible without getting a ton of kills. Now, holding people back and taking position is what's most important. Now, this squad's obviously trying to work around, but I'm not too bothered. They're probably going to take the position. As long as they don't try and get behind us, it's absolutely fine. I'm not worried. I'm just trying to pick them off, take their shields off, and get as much damage as possible. And it's literally all it is to it. To getting that max damage is making sure no one can push you, making sure you don't push them, and just have them in sort of one spot where you can literally take their shields off and let them re-heal and you know, break their shields again. And it's just a constant cycle of breaking their shields, letting them heal, breaking them shields, letting them heal. Not pushing and not letting them be able to push on you is really useful. Now, unfortunately, I did want to move here. I noticed the ring was getting closer. I think Wraith was trying to kidnap him for an easy kill, but the ring's starting to get close here, and I was kind of worried that they would get caught in the ring, which unfortunately did happen, and it left me, you know, a few hundred damage on one squad to get, which is more than enough, especially with 2 people. If they're playing a little more conservative and don't push you, it's absolutely fine. But it's just making sure that's in your sort of control. So you need to be controlling the end games, you need to be controlling the situations, and making sure that these guys do not want to push you, not giving them any opportunity to sneak up on you or get like behind you or anything like that. Like, these guys got us behind us, but for some reason they just didn't want to push, which is great for us. Okay, that was absolutely fine. Now, unfortunately, I know the ring's going to catch those guys out, so I thought I'd get it down. I don't quite get to catch the thirst. I don't even know where that guy hid, but I knew that other guy was you know, dead to the ring. So I focus on the squad behind us, and Rafe's asking, how much damage do you need? So I let them know I'm like 400 off, 300 off, whatever it is. Just giving Rafe constant updates so they're not like pushing too hard. Like I said, this teammate was the best teammate you could probably have, letting you like just farm and being a nice teammate. Like most of the time, some people will do that, but sometimes people will just be toxic and not really listen. And I guess it's the luck of the draw. If you want to eliminate that, either play with a friend or play solo. Like I do a lot of solo duos, and just having a teammate does help because it's another target. It gives you potentially a meat shield or someone else for the enemy to focus on. So literally, we're talking like 300 damage right now, and I don't want them to down me because I know it'll be the end of that. So I'm just trying to peek, heal up, and get as much damage as possible, which is why I took the Sentinel. You know, it's 70 damage per shot. There's no longbows around, which obviously would have been a better option. I do prefer the longbow, although the Sentinel is quite satisfying. The bolt on it, I'm not a huge fan, but you know, just dealing damage. And there's 2 of them left still, and we're just picking at them. We're just not giving them time. I need to move around. They do have rings, so I go and get the high ground with Rafe. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. Rafe's just asking me how much I need, and because we've been picking off that much, literally like 3,800 damage, I need a kill, if that. There's one underneath the bridge, so I secure my 4k on this guy, okay? Rafe knocks him. I just secure the rest of the damage by thirsting them. I see the 3,900. I'm like, okay, I get a thirst. There's the 4k. And there it is. I'm trying to let Rafe know, like, we've got the 4k on bang. I think she's just been kind enough to go, actually, there's someone there. You may as well finish them. You may as well get the extra and get it sealed. So there we go. That's the 4k. And like I said, I got like 1,500 damage at the end game there. And I was just like, yo, thank you, Rafe. Thank you so much. Letting me farm. You're a nice teammate and whatnot. And like I say, you know, it's really nice of Rafe to do that, and really nice for them to sort of go along and help me grab that 4k on bang. So I'd say the biggest takeaway here is not worrying too much about your damage, not worrying too much to the start anyway, and knowing that you can pick up 1,500 to 2,000 damage towards the end of the game. And honestly, just playing it like a normal game. If you see those damage numbers racking up, that's when you should start thinking, actually, I have potential here. Swap out for a long-range weapon and pick up as much damage as possible. But anyway, I hope this has helped you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.